and we're gonna open it up with my man Edi Callier.
I talked a little bit about that feeling that you have when you don't recognize the person on the other side of the glass. But then, after a period of time of healing, self work, and everything like that, sometimes we can find ourselves being in a place where our hearts are open again. Sometimes inadvertently, and this song is about that feeling when you weren't ready to fall in love, but love shows up at your door anyway. Cause every time I tell you I'm a savage, it's cause I feel you're getting closer to my heart. And I'm supposed to be man, but I'm scared. I didn't think we'd get this far. So tell me what you want and I give you what you need. I can't even help it cause it's something about your love, and you're sweeter than tall glasses of an iced tea. Want more than a Georgia summer with your arms wrapped around me, me, with your arms wrapped around me, with your arms wrapped around.
Wow. Let me get that applause going again. That was amazing. Edi Callier in the building.
Thank you.
We're going to get him set in his seat right now. We're going to be chatting with him later, find out a little bit more about him. So welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you. So my name is Edi Callier, and I'm originally from Portland, Oregon, but I live in LA now.
Hey.
Shout out to Portland. I heard they have a good, they have the Adidas employee store up there.
That's facts. Adidas and Nike.
Nike.
Yep. Yes. Fun fact, my brother actually used to work for Nike, so I used to always get like the dope discounts and everything.
Right. Everybody always has a plug in Portland. Like all my friends, whenever they go to Portland, they got an employee discount plug.
Exactly. Portland's for the plugs. It's a whole thing. But yeah, so I just moved here from Atlanta. And I'm just enjoying the vibe as it is.
What triggered you to come to LA in the first place? Like at the start of the pandemic?
So I came before the pandemic started.
Okay.
So essentially last year, well, not last year because it's 2021 now, the year before, I made the decision I wanted to be in LA. I felt LA calling to me. And then also it was just that time in my life and everything like that. I felt like the next level, making itself known to me. And that next level was in LA. And so I made the decision in 2019. I think I announced it either at the end of 2019 or beginning of 2020. And then in March of 2020, I bought my ticket, came out here top of the month. I was like, I'm going to spend a month in town, check out the areas, check out the neighborhoods, see like what I like, what I don't like, where I want to be at, who I want to be around. And I actually started making some moves, started booking some stuff out here, all kinds of stuff. And it was super clutch too, because I spent so much money just to come out here to visit.
Right.
And then
expensive.
Like, what was the bottoms?
Well, you want to know what the bottom was? When I came out here, spent all that money, and then I was on stage when they announced that quarantine started and everybody had to be out of the venue and to the house by 12 a.m.
My gosh. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, elaborate.
Like, so, in fact, actually, this happened, for those watching, I was on this TV show called The Four.
I know. Look, don't say that all it's nothing.
Yeah, no. Because the thing is, like, so much stuff happened after that, and I'm grateful for everything that happened, and I'm grateful for all the people that I met, but there's a lot that came with it that wasn't on, it wasn't as advertised.
Let's drop some of the names on that show. It was what? Puffy was there. Khaled, DJ Khaled.
Charlie Walk, Megan Trainor, Fergie.
Fergie. So these are all the people that are judging him. Like they're like he's standing in, like these are the Simon Cowells. If
pretty much.
American to American, so go ahead.
Pretty much. So the thing about it is, right? So I was out here in Los Angeles. This was before I moved here. I was out here for, I want to say, like 4 months off and on. And, you come out here for something like that, they're treating you like royalty, like they're like, oh, well, what do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? Like, what do you want to drink? What are this?
Right.
You're in this hotel, like, all expenses paid, you're getting taken care of, all this other stuff like that. Right. You get on set, and there are people, oh, let me fix this part of your hair, oh, this is broken, let me go ahead and fix that.
Runners that'll go get you anything you
exactly
want.
all of this stuff, right? And so you have all of that, and then the way that it ended, so for those also who haven't seen the show, they said I was too nice, they said I was too sweet, and so I was let go in my first round.
I'm sorry, just to pause that. Do you look back at that and take that as good advice, or do you feel like you just ain't knowing what I'm doing right now?
It was a mixture. Yeah. It was a mixture because, that, like, one of the things that I took from that, and it took me a little while to take it from it, but it took like some conversations with some people talking to me about it. They kind of flipped like one of the biggest parts of me, and one of the things that make me who I am, and like allow me to be who I am around the people that I'm around. Yeah. They took that and flipped it as a negative, and it's not like, because I am competitive, but I'm a different kind of competitive. Yeah. I'm the kind of competitive that wants to see everybody win, but I'm still going to come out and do what I do and be who I am. And the thing about it is, with shows like that, they're like expecting you to come out there and be like, oh yeah, like everybody else sucks and I'm the best, and da 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 da.
But I guess my question would be, right? Like, there is a lane for you, who you are, right? And I guess it depends on what type of fame you want, right? Like, and if you are really chasing, like, I want to be the biggest star ever, that's the mentality you got to have.
Facts,
but being who you are, you want to enjoy and create as you want to create, and there's a lane for that too. So maybe that just wasn't the fame that you wanted, because
it's like a balance, because I know some people, like, over my time, like, being in this industry, I've met some people who have created some of the records that I grew up listening to, right? And they're super chill. They're like really cool. They like respect everybody and love everybody and like embrace people who are dope. And that's the type of person I want to be like when I'm out here getting all these Grammys, and when I'm out here, selling out stadiums and all that other stuff like that. I still want to be a person who says, I know what I have, I know who's around me, but I also want you to be dope, because at the end of the day, people are coming out here to see me, but somebody wants to see you too. Like
kind of like Kendrick. Kendrick's like that.
Kendrick's
huge, but he's not like like I need to be on everybody's social media, like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I mean. And like, but he's obviously
J. Cole's like that.
J. Cole's like that too.
Yeah, and it took them a while to get to that level of fame because they just were consistent. So like some people come out straight wanting nothing but fame, and they're just tap dancing. So like I think obviously if you stay true to yourself, I mean it's coming, man.
Yeah, that's the plan. Speaking of which, so we were talking about that experience that you were talking about, going from the Hummer to the bus.
Right.
So you come from all of this stuff with the TV show, and everybody's like, and then like immediately after the show, you're walking around everywhere you go. Oh, you're the dude from the show. Let me get your autograph. Oh, you're paying for groceries. Why are you paying for groceries? Here, let me get your groceries. Let me get your food. Oh, let me, you need a ride somewhere. All right, you don't need a ride. I don't know you. You don't know me. It's fine. Here, just take some money to get an Uber. Like, stuff like that. And then you go home and they say, what is it? And preacher, I'm a preacher's kid too.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
Yeah, exactly.
Every male on my dad's side is a preacher, and my mom actually.
It says, the Bible says, man is not without honor except at home. So, then I go home and it's just like hamster wheel once again. I'm just over here. In fact, not even the same type of hamster wheel, because before I went on the show, I was like making moves. I had some meetings lined up with some major labels. I had just come off of some tours, like pop-up stuff, all kinds of other stuff like that, working with some dope people. And then afterwards it was like, all the people that were hitting me up before thought I was too busy. All the people I wanted to hit me up thought I wasn't busy enough. And so my phone was just dry. And I was just sitting there, and the only people who were hitting me up were like people like trying to get me on talent shows. And before, I was getting gigs, for like my whole band. I had like a full like setup and everything like that. And they were taking care of, the whole crew, green room, all the other stuff like that. And then it was just like, oh yeah, come do a little talent show down the street with, Joe and Sally,
No, not Joe and Sally.
Not Joe and Sally. Joe and Sally don't pay. That's
exactly.
That's
Joe and Sally don't pay. They don't pay. And so, I understand what you were just saying wholeheartedly, like on a major level, because it's like to come from all of that and then go to like, you know, this
free falling.
Exactly. This like unexpected anonymity. It's like, you know, you appreciate it like when you take time to appreciate it, but then at the same time it's like when that's not what you're, you know, going for, like when you come off that train and you want to keep it moving,
you want that momentum.
You know,
this is a serious question, like, you know, and I want you to kind of think about it because it's tough. Okay. But has anybody ever come up to you and said, "Can they touch your chest?" Because I mean, obviously, I see you. You know, you got the sexiness all out.
He always got the chocolate out.
Has anybody ever come up and just said, "Can I just get it? Can I feel it?"
All of the time, and even in the middle of a whole Pandarosa, like I got a whole mask on, sometimes shades. And people with entire masks in a social distance society will be like, "Hi, how are you? How are you doing today?"
It's just out.
Wow, because I felt it for a minute. I felt like when I shook your hand, I was like, maybe I should just, you know, it's there.
It's like the Apollo.
Right. Good luck. It's like good luck. Like, and first I had to gather myself. Like, hold up, man. Hold up, Prince. Like, stop it, Prince.
You know, it's hilarious. It happens so often, but you know, I learned to get used to it. You know.
Now, was that a personal choice? I mean, obviously it's a personal choice, but what inspired you to be like, you know what,
you know,
and in that, do you have any artists? Because it feels very Prince, very like, you know, very open. Like, you have artists. Her question, and then do you have artists that you kind of looked up to?
So for yours, it was like it started off as just something that I did, you know, like just partially because I get really hot on stage, you know, and so it's like my method of ventilation and everything.
I get it.
But then also, you know, it's like an expression of freedom. And what made me really embrace it was when I was doing it like for that reason, and then so many people would tell me either how much they hated it or how much they loved it.
That's what you want.
You know?
That's what you want.
And the fact that in and of itself had such an impact on people, you know, like, because at the end of the day, as an artist, you know, you really want to be able to inspire people as much as like I can't even tell you how many people, like almost the same amount of people who try to come up and touch my chest. The amount of people who reach out, you know, via DM or like in person or whatever, and they just like thank me for being me unapologetically.
You know, we promote that here on the JD
I know, right? We always know yourself, learn yourself, get yourself together. But what what's about the dating situation? Can we, you know, you single? You open? What you think? Lord. She may be watching. He may be watching. I don't know.
I am Edi. Edi Callier.
Yeah, hit him up in the DMs. That's what that means. Hard eyes, so we can have clear communication. That means you want that.
I am Edi Callier, born from Ricky and Joan, and I am here.
Right. Mm-hmm. He ain't trying to. He don't kiss and tell.
All right.
Gentleman.
So we
make a gentleman with his chest out.
Right.
There it goes. Like, I had a conversation with my dad some time ago, you know, about that. And the thing about it is, you know, preacher's kid, you know, like he's in the mindset for my whole life. Like, all right, when are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? And then we had a very, very intense conversation about the concept of marriage and about like relationships in general and things like that. And it was very interesting because he has a whole different perspective now. Like as time, I'm not going to put his business on Front Street, but as time has passed,
get a lot of views on it. No, I'm just kidding. It's like, your family. That's what we do. That's how you get famous. Views, man. Pub, man. I'm trying to get you some pub. I'm trying to help you. Everybody's doing it.
Everybody.
The thing that we talked about though is that, like, you know, it's like two magnets, right? I'm a bit of a nerd too, so like, you know, I did a lot of like scientific stuff, right? Exactly. You know, I did like a whole lot of scientific research as a child and things. I played with magnets, and you get two really, really powerful magnets, like with the similar polarity, they're going to push against each other no matter how hard you try to keep them together. And so if you try to hold these things together, you tie things around it and all that to try to keep it together.
One of the most fun things to do is to try to make them touch, like when they couldn't. And it's
exactly.
Just don't do that in real life in a relationship.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And that's what happens a lot of times. There are these two super powerful magnets with similar polarities that try to come together. You put all this stuff around them, like money, kids, houses, put it all around them to try to keep it together. And then they still end up pushing apart. And the thing about it is the more stuff you add on to the outsides of it, the more it will break when it comes apart.
Right.
So
facts. You said that. Let me give you some horns on that. Horns on that.
Summer 2021, what's that looking like for you?
Summer 2020 is about to be crazy.
2021, yeah.
2021, right? Super facts. It's so funny. I lost a whole year, so I'm still there. But yeah, so summer 2021. First of all, quarantine added on a little bit of poundage,
Honey,
and so
too. My COVID curves is strong.
Over the last month, I've
lost.
Got
no dedication to me. I was nice during the pandemic. I did my
shit. I was chilling. I was super chilling.
I was chilling too. I was eating.
I was chilling.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm teasing y'all. Don't blame the pandemic. That was y'all.
No, facts. It's definitely a me thing. But I will say, as things have been opening up, I don't know if that's what it is or if it's just me being out here or what it is, but I've lost like over 40 pounds in the last month.
Yeah, congratulations. I know, right?
It's a whole day.
Congratulations.
This summer, I'm actually
Sorry.
Nice. I'm here for it.
My bad.
One of the dopest things is that everybody that I've been talking to about like Juneteenth and everything like that has been talking about the Juneteenth Atlanta Festival, like talking about flying out and all this other stuff like that. And I got a call some weeks ago, and I will be headlining the Juneteenth Atlanta Festival at Centennial Olympic Park.
Congratulations! And when is that again? What's the date?
That's going to be June 18th and 19th
in Atlanta.
Is
there any way to watch that anywhere else? Live website, anything?
Possibly. I'm gonna see what can be made to happen, but. I'm over here trying to get right for that.
Right, he trying to be snatched for the Atlanta baddies. The Atlanta never closed, so they still.
That's true.
I've never really turned up in Atlanta. I don't really know how. I've never really been there, to be honest.
Fun.
Yeah, it's intense.
So we're running out of time. I want to ask you maybe one more thing about like moving forward in the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Like you got here, pandemic happened. Now we're gonna be out. What do you feel like that's going to change? Do you feel like that's going to change the way you move, your experience?
Probably, because I'm not even going to lie. I acknowledge, what I came into. I moved to LA in the middle of a pandemic, so I got LA light.
Light.
So there's a lot of stuff.
A lot more distractions to come.
There's a lot of stuff I've noticed on both ends of the spectrum that I haven't been experiencing because we've been in the middle of a Ponderosa. And so
pandemic. He's kidding, by the way. If you're just tuning in, he's kidding. He knows how to say it.
Right. And so because we've been in the middle of it, I know there's a lot of stuff on one side of the spectrum, like a lot of the networking events and all that I actually got a chance to get a peek at, but when I was like visiting here, but then there's a lot of stuff like the traffic and all the people and all of just everything.
Remember what you said? Light. It's light.
Exactly.
It's light right now. It's light right now.
It's starting to warm up. Starting to get a little heavy.
So just before we head out, drop everybody your links so they can know where to go to fill your chest and listen to your music. So go ahead and drop your links. Where can we find your music? And then what do you have coming up?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at officially Edi, on Twitter at officially Edi. YouTube, Edi Callier, Edi, Callier, or on my website, officiallyedi.com. And I got music on there. I got dates on there. I've got pictures, videos, all of the things. I've got merchandise, and I'm about to, speaking of stuff that's coming up, right? I got so much stuff coming up this summer. I don't even know how much of it.
Atlanta, what else?
There's that. And then like, I don't even know how much of it I can actually talk about, but I got a bunch of content dropping. Nice. I'm going to be dropping a project. I'm going to be dropping some singles. Nice. Like working on a film. I'm like also about to drop a new clothing line.
Wow.
Called the Black Rockstar Coalition.
Come on.
And so it's going to be like distressed clothing with like, you know, acid wash stuff and all this rock star type, you know, because there's not a whole lot of light shown on like the Black rock stars.
That's another quick question I want to add, because I have a friend of mine who is almost crazy, because we call him Rock, because he doesn't know how to turn off his on-stage personality off the stage.
Yeah.
Right? On stage, you could do some crazy, wild stuff. Off stage, people are like, "Oh, this is my bubble," and you stay there. Do you have that feeling? I'm respectful, but do you have that feeling? Do you have that feeling of like having to turn off your rock star when you get off stage, or is it all meshes together?
Not anymore.
Works all the time.
It's all, you know, but I will say there is like there are levels to it, you know, there are levels to the rock starness, but you know, like I've learned to allow both of myselves to coincide with each other, so I don't go crazy.
Good job.
You know?
Yes, awesome.
So Black Rockstar Coalition is
Black
the name of the brand.
Coalition.
Black Rockstar Coalition. Look out for that. Hopefully, you know, when you get it out, let us know. We can come and we'll showcase it here on the show. We support.
My bad.
We support small businesses. We support Black-owned business, brown-owned business, Asian, LGBTQ, all types.
And white people. And white people. Don't throw the white people.
And white people.
Yes.
Thank you, man. Thank you for staying. I appreciate you staying. Like, you know, we know you big time. He's like.